Hi, my name is Maxine Hoover with the Beryl Consulting Group, and we are here today with Tamer Ozmen of Mintus. Now, why is your artificial intelligence different than others?
Very good question for a couple of reasons. So first of all, just to give you a background, we are a UK company, and then we serve the finance and real estate sectors. Those are the two sectors that we operate in currently. And then we build this agentic applied AI platform. What applied AI means that we use predictive analytics, we use deep learning, we use generative AI, we combine different unstructured and structured data, supervised learning, unsupervised learning techniques. And then with that, we help companies bring their fragmented data together to help them with either revenue improvement or efficiency improvement, various things that they can actually improve their performance. The reason that I think our AI is very different is that we brought in PhDs from Stanford University and University of Chicago. These are deep machine learning experts. So when you combine a platform with that deep expertise, and then when you meet with the clients, and then when you create this human in the loop AI, which I will explain what that means, the results actually go fundamentally higher than just AI doing, things itself. So the performance almost goes up like 80% on, critical, risky decisions and this and that. So it's a applied agentic AI platform using deep expertise from some of the top US universities.
Amazing, amazing. And where do you see opportunity outside the United States?
Well, that is, if you look at the whole, for example, financial sector, it's about a 40 trillion AUM assets under management, but 10 trillion of that comes from the United States, and the remaining, 30 comes from rest of the world. So that includes EU, UK, Gulf countries, and everything else. That's a huge amount of money that's being managed. But the gap between the US and the rest of the world is widening so rapidly because the amount of investment, amount of research that goes into AI in the United States is absolutely unimaginable how big it is and how great it is. And the rest of the world is not making that investment. So the BlackRocks, JP Morgans, Morgan Stanley's like JP Morgan has 2,000 AI experts. They're going to bring that to 5,000. They have 200,000 people in their organization being trained on AI. Rest of the world is not doing that. So as a result of that, the gap between these big mega US players and then the rest of the world is going to widen. So we see that 30 trillion market as our market because we can bring these technologies to these European companies, the UK companies, and the Gulf companies. They all need that. So from that point of view, I actually see that as an opportunity to bring them into a level playing field.
Amazing. And tell us three use cases where you improved metrics.
Okay, so one of them is that we work with banks, we work with asset managers, we work with investment houses. What do they all look at when they take investment decisions? They look at the company's management accounts, right? What are management accounts? What I mean by that is that balance sheets, income statements, and everything else. Everybody looks at the same data. And that data is usually 6 to 12 months old, and everybody record their accounting differently. They have different ways of reporting. They have different ways of looking at things. So when you're an investment firm, let it be a bank, asset manager, private equity, whatever you are, you have to look at that data to make a decision. And so for that, they use a lot of big four companies, which takes a lot of time to go through that process and everything else. But what we have done is that we build these libraries. These libraries actually go into these management accounts, these kind of cumbersome management accounts, and then they normalize that data. So I'll give you an example. All the loans from the shareholders, you can keep them as loans or you can put them into your loss accounts. We put them all on the loss account, so you can get a very good metric of understanding that. So by cleaning that data, we cut off around 15, 20 working days by analysts, and they provide 3, 4 analysts on to do that, to do that literally in a matter of minutes. So you can go through much larger number of companies. You can select the ones that you want to make an investment in. So you actually, instead of becoming a passive custodian as a bank, you become a financial ecosystem partner. You actually work with them to make this happen. So that's on the selection process. Next thing, you've given the loan, the company has gone. The monitoring process is very cumbersome. It's very difficult to monitor them because data doesn't flow and everything else. This does a real-time, monitoring of that loan or investment and everything else. And then thirdly, when these companies look at these potential applicants, again, it could be a company that's looking for a loan, it could be a private equity portfolio company. They don't look at their competitors that intensely. So what we do is that we get a lot of sector data about that company's sector, look at the raw material that they use, freight costs, micro factors. And once we put the sales analysis, we know about that company more than probably the company knows about itself. So with that, you actually make very informed decisions, which helps the funds go to the right company, which helps them do the right thing. So it's lifting the nations, with the way you manage these things. So there's actually a very good thing that comes out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And where do you see everything evolving over the next 12 years or so?
12 years is like a lifetime. So maybe if you look at 12 months even, that's very, long term in AI business. And so, I'm seeing like three things happening. So one of these things is like this multi-model, multi-agent AI is going to be very important. Multi-model means that you take a video, turn it into a text, you listen to a voice, turn it into a sentiment. So you look at like different structured and unstructured data, and that makes sense out of that. Multi-agents becoming, very important. There is something called synthetic data. So you can go back to last 30 years and then look at anomalies in the markets, and then you can synthetically understand them. But for AI to work, three things need to happen. So one, you have to have the right technology, you have the right models, you have the right algorithms, you have the right kind of structure to run it. Number two, you have to have the right operational components, meaning you have like 99% uptime, less than 2% hallucination, the right, processes. But most importantly, organization needs to be ready to adopt AI. So if I look at the next 12 months, I see AI as such a big force, but I also see renewable energy as such an incredible force also, because all these data centers, everything else is going to need energy. So the movement in this area with the world changing very rapidly, energy and AI almost like becoming, in the same kind of like, if you don't have the energy, you don't have this one. Without this, you don't have that kind of thing. So I also think that solar, for example, is going to be very big.
Yeah, it'll be a whole different world, as you say. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for
Thank you very
joining us
much.
today.
Thank you so much for having
Thank you,
me.
Tamer. Thank you for tuning in. Beryl Consulting Group. Thank you.